Since college, most folks have just called me Mac. It was short for McIntyre, and that just stuck over the years. I retired from Diamond V in Cargill back in 2019. And we moved from Iowa back to North Carolina to be near the grandkids. I'm an adjunct professor in the Prestige Department of Poultry Science at NC State. And I work part-time for Global Animal Products out of Texas as a poultry technical service manager. I grew up with beef cattle and quarter horses, and they've been part of my life so far. And I've worn cowboy boots since I was a child. But I added the cowboy hat back in Colorado in the 1990s. And that's back when the UV rays and skin cancer became an issue if you spent a lot of time outside. And it just stuck. So today, if someone sees me without it, they go, "Where's your hat?" I always dreamed of being a large animal veterinarian. So I headed to NC State, hoping to be a veterinarian. I started in animal science, pre-vet. But I think my second year, I took a Poultry 201 intro class and was fascinated with poultry. And my next semester, I took a poultry genetics course and then had a chance to do an honors research project with Dr. Ken Kruger in turkey reproduction. And I was hooked when I learned that the X and Y chromosome are switched in birds compared to mammals. I'm also looking at a 3-year calving interval with a beef heifer, and chicken eggs hatch in 3 weeks. So I felt like I could learn a lot more faster in poultry than I could in livestock. I had nothing to do with poultry as a kid, other than my mom had a parakeet. And I never held a live bird until I got to university at NC State. I went from the Block and Bridle Club in animal science to the Poultry Science Club. I changed my major from animal science to poultry science, and the rest, as they say, is history. I went on to got a BS degree in animal science and poultry science. And then my master's degree is from Colorado State in reproduction. And then my PhD is from NC State in physiology. I worked with the Humane Society. We were encouraged to do that in the pre-vet program. And one of the things that I did during graduate school that was really fascinating is we made a video of egg formation inside the chicken hen. And I know a lot of undergrads have seen it around the world. It was a fun project, and it grew much bigger or larger than we expected. And that was one of the things that I really appreciated about my education, and is the chance to use technology and understand how the egg is formed inside the hen. My first job out of my PhD program was with Oscar Mayer in Madison, Wisconsin. Oscar Mayer had acquired Louis Rich turkeys. And although I was trained as a reproductive physiologist, my dissertation was on sperm storage in the oviducted turkey hens. But Oscar Mayer, or Louis Rich, had no turkey breeders. So my first job was a muscle physiologist in the research group in Madison. I spent 2 years looking at muscle physiology and stress in turkeys. What was it like? We wore 3-piece suits and a necktie to work every day. That was a change for a country boy. I had to learn to be very proper in a situation like that. We were housed on the 7th floor of the corporate office in Madison, right above the smokehouses for the sausages. And every day I would come home smelling like a smoked sausage. The thing that I'm most excited about, and I've had a varied career, many great companies and good opportunities. But I think being a part of the technical teams at Hybrid Turkeys and at Diamond V stand out because it gave me the opportunity to work with some of the most brilliant minds in our industry and to make lifelong friendships with the people that you work with. But being a part of those technical teams that travel globally and help people around the world is something that I really enjoyed and I'm proud of. I've always heard that we are the sum of the people we've known and the experiences we've had. And I've had many. I'd have to say that Dr. Ken Kruger shared with me a passion for poultry as an undergrad. And then Dr. Kerry Quarles, my major professor in Colorado, taught me how to think outside the box. I taught Poultry 201 labs as a grad student for Dr. Carm Parkhurst, and I learned from him how to present in front of a group comfortably. Dr. J. Paul Thaxton was an advisor for my PhD, and he was a prolific writer, and I learned from him how to write better, how to tell the story. And then Dr. Vern Christensen was my PhD major professor, and he instilled in me an understanding for developing a research program to answer a question. So I'm the sum of the parts, and I hold all of those mentors in very high regard. I've been a member of Poultry Science Association since 1981, so about 41 years. From chairing scientific sessions at a meeting, participating in committees. I've served on the board of directors, and then I've served as an officer, going through the chairs. Served as PSA president in 2019 and 2020. And I still review submitted papers, and it's always just a way to give back. The Poultry Science Association has become more like an extended family. I've heard it described that way by other people. It's a group of people with great minds who offer unselfish support no matter what the situation. Folks are always ready to share wisdom from lessons learned and to extend a helping hand when it's needed. You know, Dr. James Denton shared an adage with a group of graduate students at one of our meetings. He said, "We stand on the shoulders of those who came before us." And that struck a chord with me. As you remember, all your mentors and the people who have meant something to you. I think that spawned the concept for a Diamond V endowment when I worked for Diamond V that provides scholarships for poultry science students today. So of all the things that I've had a chance to participate in, I think the legacy is a scholarship for poultry science students in the future. My first piece of advice would be, don't expect your first job to be your last. Never stop learning. Graduate school teaches you to think critically. So become a problem solver. That's what people need in the world and the industry today. Beyond that, find what you're good at and are passionate about and be the best at it. That way you'll not feel like you've worked a day in your life. Always treat people the way you'd like to be treated. We call it the golden rule. It's in the Bible. Before you speak or judge, put yourself in their shoes. Then have a candid conversation as a friend. You'll like the outcome much better, and you'll make a friend for life. Being named a fellow of the Poultry Science Association is a huge honor for me. It's not something you feel like you've earned, but something you're now expected to live up to. As I look back on a career that's been such a blessing to me and my family, I think a fellow is expected to continue paying it forward, to help others like our mentors helped us. That's what being a fellow means to me.